Why was Tiempo 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Wow. What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you a comparison video today between the Nike Tiempo Legend 7 Elite and its replacement, the Tiempo Legend 8 Elite. It's the battle of new versus old. Every time a model gets replaced, everyone wants to know if it's actually better and if it's worth upgrading, or if they just screwed it up entirely. And in the case of the Legend 7 to Legend 8, there are definitely a lot of similarities, but they've made some changes as well that you could argue aren't necessarily better. So with that in mind, let's compare the two and figure out whether or not Nike has actually screwed up the Tiempo. If you guys enjoy the comparison videos on the channel, don't forget to support this one with a like, and let me know down below in the comments which other comparisons you would like to see done. Also, if you're new here watching for the first time and don't want to miss out on daily football boot content from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. Retail price on the Legend 7, $230, and retail price on the Legend 8, also $230. So no difference, but it is worth noting that every time a model gets replaced, it will get marked down pretty significantly because all the stores that have them left in inventory are going to be trying to clear them out. So if you're looking to get a really good deal on Legend 7 Elites, or if you're looking to pick up the new Legend 8 Elite below its normal retail price, I'm going to leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That's going to take you to the new releases or the super deals page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links for both of these boots below their normal retail prices. What the Tiempo line has really stood for over the years is the combination of classic leather in regards to feel and overall comfort, but also modern technology. And the Legend 7 along with the Legend 8 are two of the most complicated leather football boots ever to exist because of how much technology has been thrown in. The Legend 7, of course, features a kangaroo leather upper that is stabilized by an internal support cage as well as a fit mesh liner through the toe that is basically the first generation of quad fit that we later would see introduced on the Phantom Vision and of course on the new Tiempo Legend 8. The midfoot is reinforced by way of a fly knit material along with fly wire cables attaching directly to the lacing system, really stabilizing the midfoot and adding a lot of structure to the boot, making it much more responsive than you would expect it to be. It also features a one-piece construction to the upper, with the middle part being enclosed by an elasticated fly knit tongue, and it also features, I think, one of the best heel liners ever featured on a modern pair of football boots. The Legend 8 Elite is equally as complicated, still featuring a kangaroo leather upper without any stitching, but you'll notice it now has a diamond texturing to it, which is very unusual for a leather boot. It doesn't seem to take away from the softness in any way because the quality seems to be about the same, and you actually get a little bit more leather on the 8 than you did on the 7, but for some reason the touch does seem to suffer. More on that in just a second. As a reinforcement element, they've gone away with fly wire cables, and they've gone away with the internal support cage. Instead, you will find an internal quad fit system that does attach directly to the lacing system, not far off what you find on the Phantom Vision, that basically provides all of the internal structure. But then you also have the fly knit tongue that is a completely new design, still fully elasticated, but it's not just a tongue, it's a fly knit tunnel, which means that there's actually fly knit that wraps the entire midfoot area of your foot on the medial side and even goes underneath the insole, giving you this kind of sock-like internal wrap, another layer of material for the sake of comfort more than anything, because it's not really a performance feature. And then moving to the heel area, they pretty much just straight up took it off the Mercurial Vapor 12 Elite, which is kind of this fly knit construction around the edges, a lot more low profile, definitely thinner than what we found on the Legend 7, but still very effective in regards to overall comfort and lockdown. Also, both have ACC. All of this technology existing for the sake of performance, and while on paper these might seem like very different designs, the end result is two boots that perform pretty much exactly the same way. So it's a tie. The main reason why you buy a kangaroo leather football boot is for the touch. Nothing feels like kangaroo leather on the ball. And when the Legend 7 Elite first came out, it was really special, better than anything else you could buy in this particular category. But as time went on and other brands came out with their response to the Legend 7 Elite, it kind of got exposed for not necessarily providing the best leather touch that you could get. Yes, everything objectively about the performance of the product was really good, but there were better leather boots out there in regards to touch on the ball. And the changes they've made with the Legend 8 Elite arguably don't improve the touch over the Legend 7. Speaking strictly in regards to leather quality, I think you can make an argument that the leather on the Legend 8 is a little bit thinner, but they're both very, very soft, and it's difficult to say that one is better quality than the other, in my opinion. With the Legend 7, however, you will find that the leather is slightly thicker, and it does have a slightly more padded feel to it, given the fact that you do have this internal support cage that does seem to be made from a softer foam type material. Overall, the touch is good, and the fact that you have leather spanning the entirety of the forefoot toe box area and most of the midfoot on the medial side as well means that you get a pretty consistent leather touch on the ball. However, it's just not as pure as some of the other leather boots that are out there. The kangaroo leather on the Legend 8 being distinctively different because of this diamond texturing that Nike have implemented that you would think would have a huge impact on the touch, but it really doesn't. You don't feel the texturing in any way. It doesn't seem to add any extra grip on the ball. Yes, the leather upper is slightly thinner, but because you have extra layers of material reinforcing that leather in the form of the Flyknit tunnel through the midfoot and the quad fit system that spans the entirety of the inside of the boot, you basically have, in certain spots at least, especially right here, 3 layers of material along with the leather before you're able to feel the ball, which I think takes away from the experience of what a leather boot should be, and that is very, very pure. This is not that. And that to me is the fault that both of these boots have in the kangaroo leather category when compared to a Mizuno Rebula, when compared to a Puma King Platinum, when compared to even something like a Nike Premier 2. It's not to say that the touch on the ball is bad with these two, but if I had to pick a winner, I think based on the fact that the upper is just softer all the way through because of the way it's been reinforced on the Legend 8, I have to give the very slight edge in regards to touch to the new model over the old. They're the same, so it's a tie. Something you might not expect from a kangaroo leather football boot is a lightweight feel, but you definitely get that whether you go for the Legend 7 and the Legend 8. The question is, which one is lighter? Both in the same size 9.5 US, the Tiempo Legend 7 Elite weighs in at 7.2 ounces, the equivalent of 205 grams, while the Legend 8 Elite weighs in at an also very lightweight 7.5 ounces, the equivalent of 212 grams. A 7-gram weight difference is not something you're really going to be able to feel, but what I will say is that because of the way that they've added structure to the upper on the Legend 7 Elite with the Flyknit as well as the Flywire cables does make the midfoot especially feel a little bit stiffer and therefore a little bit tighter in regards to how it holds your foot, giving it more of a speed boot feel than what you'll get from the Legend 8 Elite, which is still well supported, still very responsive, but it has that soft all over sensation, which isn't necessarily better or worse, but definitely the Legend 7 Elite does feel that little bit lighter. Now you kind of expect kangaroo leather boots to feel pretty similar to each other, but the Tiempo series has always separated itself in regards to giving you the softness of leather, but also giving you the lockdown and responsiveness that you don't necessarily expect from this style of football boot. When you're comparing the Legend 7 and 8, they do feel a lot different in that the 7 just has a more structured feel to it, especially through the midfoot area where you have the Flyknit with the fuse on top of that, as well as the Flywire cables. It's just firmer and stiffer. There's no other way to put it, where the quad fit system on the Legend 8 really allows the upper to maintain this softness and fluidity in regards to how it wraps your foot and how it moves with your foot. So in that regard, it just feels a lot more natural and arguably just more comfortable in general. I still think that the heel liner on the Legend 7 is more comfortable just due to it being more padded, but again, the less bulky direction that they've gone with on the Legend 8 is still very comfortable, and I think probably a logical choice for a modern style Tiempo. The Flyknit tunnel through the midfoot on the Legend 8 as well does, I guess, to a certain extent enhance the comfort, but it certainly doesn't add any kind of performance. It does feel good though, I can't complain about it. As far as the fit is concerned, they are almost exactly the same shape, but due to the slightly softer feel of the Legend 8, maybe it does feel a touch wider in my opinion versus what you'll find with the 7. And then as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing them both in the same size 9.5 US, so whether you're going for the 7 or the 8, I would recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. However, when it just comes down to it, if I were picking based on comfort and fit, I just think that the Legend 8 feels better. Nike has almost made the exact same boot, but in two very different ways. The Legend 8 Elite is the logical progression for what they did with the Tiempo Legend 7 Elite. The leather is pretty much the same in regards to quality, so we can't really fault them there. And the fact that it now has this soft all over feel, which I think is more fitting for a boot in the style of the Tiempo. You want your leather boots to feel soft rather than structured, but still maintaining all the responsiveness of the more structured Legend 7 Elite, I think is a really impressive achievement. The issue is with both of these boots, I would say, that if you're after the best possible kangaroo leather touch on the ball, neither of these provide that in comparison to other options that you have on the market. Touch aside, I think these are objectively two of the best performing kangaroo leather football boots that money can buy. So really it comes down to what you value most in your football boots. If overall performance is more of a priority than having the best possible leather touch on the ball, you're going to be happy with either of these, and I would kind of lean a little bit more towards the 8 over the 7, although that's not to say that the 7 is not worth your time. However, if you value having the best possible leather touch on the ball, while these are objectively great performers, I don't think that they're the best. But if I had to choose between them, I'd pick the 8 over the 7 purely based on the fact that I prefer the softer, less structured feel to the upper. Anyways, guys, that's it for this comparison. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in either of these two boots for yourself, there will be links to get both with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, so you can pick them up below the normal retail prices down below in the description. If you have any questions regarding these two boots or any suggestions for other comparisons you'd like to see, leave all that down below in the comments and we'll take a look at everything you guys have to say. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. All my social media information is linked down below in the description as well, so make sure you follow me there if you aren't already. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.